Okay, 2NA, today I'll be going through algebraic fractions, multiplication and division. Before we do that, let's recap on what we have learned in primary school. Fraction times fraction, fraction divide by fraction before we move on to the algebra portion. Now, if we have a fraction multiplied by a fraction without using a calculator, it is actually the numerator times the numerator over the denominator times the denominator, which means it's 1 times 2 over 3 times 7, which gives us 2 over 21. That is how you do fraction multiplied by fraction. Now, what if I have a fraction divided by fraction? We have to do something called KCF, if you remember in your primary school. Keep, change, flip. So if I were to keep, it will be 1/3. Change the divide into times and flip the 2 over 7 into 7 over 2. From here, we just take the numerator multiplied by the numerator and the denominator multiplied by the denominator. We'll be left with 7 over 6. Change to mixed number would be 1 over 6. The third thing I want to recap is from our previous lesson is to how to simplify algebraic fractions. All we need to do is divide by 3, divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 will give you 1. 9 divided by 3 will give you 3. This is the process of simplifying fractions. Lastly, we also discussed when we can cancel and when we cannot cancel. In this case, if you have 2 plus 3 over 2 plus 5, we cannot cancel the 2 like that because it is connected with a plus sign. Alright, the only one where we can cancel is when we have 2 times 3 over 2 times 5. When it's connected with a multiply, only then we can cancel. With this recap, we will now go into algebraic fractions. This is from your textbook. Page 147, work example number 4. Let's do part A now. Now part A says AB over C square multiplied by 4C over 6A square B. Now fraction multiplied by fraction, what we need to do is to take the top multiplied by the top and the bottom multiplied by the bottom. Now, from the top multiplied by the top, 4AB times 4C will give me 4ABC. Now, 6C squared times 6A squared B will give me 6A squared BC squared. Alright? Now, how do I simplify this fraction? Let's take a closer look. Let's start cancelling items out because they are all connected with a multiply. They're all connected with a multiply, and therefore we can start cancelling things out. Now 4 and 6, I can divide by 2. Divide by 2, it will be 2 over 3. A and A square, I can cancel out A. A square, there's 2A, so I'm only left with 1A. B, I can cross out. C, I also can cross out. I'm only left with 1C left. And my final answer will be 2 over 3AC. And I'm finished. Alright, if you have a problem with this question, you can pause the video now and understand this. If you don't understand, you can always WhatsApp me. Let's take a look at part B. Part B, the question says P square R over Q square divided by PR square over 2Q. We all know we can change divide into times using the KCF method. Keep, change, flip. So let's do that. We're going to keep it PQR over Q square. I'm going to change the divide into times, and this will be PR square over 2Q. I'm going to use the numerator times the numerator and the denominator times the denominator. From here, I will get P square times P square times P will give me PQ. Okay, and that is the yellow highlighted one. Now we have R times R square gives me R cube, and that is the blue highlighted one. Lastly, Q square times 2Q. Q square times 2Q will give me 2Q cube, because Q square times Q gives you Q cube. From here, is there anything else we can simplify? I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I should flip the fraction over. Let me redo this step. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to redo this step. I need to flip the fraction over. It becomes 2q over pr square. Okay, p square r over q square equals to... Okay, so from here, I'm sorry, let's go back to that. The numerator times the numerator and the denominator times the denominator. Now we have p square r times 2q. I will get 2p square r q. And the denominator, I will get q square pr square. Now let's take a look at these and let's start cancelling. The r, I can cancel because there is 2 r's below. Q, I can cancel. And from the denominator, there's 1p, I can cancel. Numerator, there's 2, so I can cancel away the 2. What am I left with? I am left with 2p over qr. And there's nothing for me to simplify. And that's all I have for part B. Now let's take a look at part C. Part C is a little bit more tricky because we have plus and minus in the fraction itself. So I have 4x minus 16 over x plus y divided by 8 over 5x plus 5y. Now, if we were to take a look at these fractions, we would realize that this is something that we can factorize. And the blue highlighted one is also something that we can factorize. In this case, we must factorize first. 4x minus 16, I can take out 4. I'm left with x minus 4. Denominator, x plus y. Divide by 8 over 5x plus 5y. I can factorize out the 5. I'm left with x plus y. Now, we have fraction divided by fraction, so we can do the keep, change, flip. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to change the divide to times. I'll get this. Over 8. Now, I'm going to multiply. Now, fraction times fraction, the top multiplied by the top, the bottom multiplied by the bottom. 4 times 5 is 20. X minus 4, x plus y, over 8, x plus y, 8 multiplied by x plus y. Now, if you look at the numerator and the denominator, there is something in common that we can cancel out, and there is x plus y, x plus y. And also 20 and 8, I can divide by 4. That will give me 5 and 2. So what I'm left with is 5, x minus 4, over 2, and that is my final answer. If you are not sure about this, you can pause the video now and figure out what I'm doing. Alright, again, from here to here, what I did was factorize. That's all I have for you today. Please remember to do your assignment, your workbook page 82, question 4A, B, C, D. If you have any questions, please WhatsApp me, and please email me your answers by today. That's it.